It's been a long, winding road, but I wanted to share an update with everyone. The divorce with Claire is finalized. There's a sense of relief, of finally closing the door on a chapter that should have ended long ago. After years of tension, regret, and honestly grief over my relationship with my daughter Emma, I'm finally free to focus on the people who matter most to me. After Claire returned Emma's wedding invitation, I felt something inside me snap. It was the push I needed to make things right with my daughter. I reached out to Emma, explained everything that had happened, and asked if she'd be willing to see me. To my relief, she agreed. We arranged to meet at a coffee shop in her town, a place I didn't even realize was states away until I booked the flight. She'd moved out of state, a fact that gutted me, knowing how long I'd been out of touch with her life. The moment I saw her sitting there, looking older, more confident, and yet so much like the little girl I used to know, I knew I'd made the right choice. We hugged, we cried, and for the first time in years, we talked. Really talked. I apologized for everything, for the ways I'd let her down, for not standing up sooner, for letting someone else get between us. She told me not to be too hard on Claire, that she understood it was complicated, but I was done with that chapter. No woman, no one, would ever be more important to me than Emma. I realized I had a second chance and I wasn't about to waste it. A few months later, I had the honor of walking her down the aisle. It was one of the proudest moments of my life, and seeing her look so happy, so loved, surrounded by friends and family, made all those lost years feel like they'd finally come full circle. Her husband is a wonderful guy, the kind of person I would have dreamed for her to find. Over time, he and I grew close, and I eventually made a huge decision. I moved to be closer to them. I couldn't imagine a future where I didn't get to see her regularly, didn't get to be part of her life, or maybe even their future children's lives. And that brings me to today. I'm writing this from the hospital waiting room, where I'm sitting with a cup of coffee that a kind nurse just brought me. I'm waiting to meet my first grandchild, a moment I never thought I'd get to experience. I can't quite describe what it feels like. There's this rush of anticipation, love, and gratitude all wrapped up together. I didn't know if I'd ever get here, but life has a way of surprising you. The nurse who brought me the coffee, by the way, is someone I ended up chatting with for a while. I must have looked a little emotional, so she asked me about my daughter, and I ended up telling her all about Emma, my late wife Lisa, and how excited I was to be a grandfather. She smiled, blushed a little when I asked for her number, and to my surprise, she agreed. Later that night I called her, and we've got a date planned for Friday. It feels like a new beginning, and I'm finally ready to open myself up to that. If there's anything I've learned through this journey, it's that life's too short to let the wrong people take you away from the ones you love. I lost years with my daughter, years I'll never get back, but I have a second chance now, and I'm going to make the most of it. Thank you to everyone who helped me see things clearly and who encouraged me to put my daughter first.